I'm curious, what do you think? You mentioned the president, 70 days left in office. He's, instructed his administration to help with a very smooth transition for the future Trump administration.
Right.
But what would you think are his top priorities in these 70 days in office? It's going to go by very quickly, considering December, there's some major holidays.
Right. Well, the top priority is one of the most lasting priorities, which is to make sure that now that Republicans are taking control not just of the White House, but also of the Senate, that he gets as many of his left-leaning judicial nominees confirmed as possible. The Senate is in charge of those confirmations. When Donald Trump was president, he got about 230 right-leaning nominees confirmed to federal courts across this country, and currently Biden's tally stands at about 215. Now, these things take time, as you see the president there and the vice president now walking up to the tomb of the unknown soldier. These things take time. Sometimes the two parties can reach an agreement to kind of speed things up, but in this environment where Republicans are about to take control, that's very unlikely.
And Nancy, I just want to keep you here for a moment there. We're looking at this Veterans Day tradition at the Tomb of the Unknown. Let's listen in for a moment here. And if you're just joining us, that concludes the annual ceremony on every Veterans Day where the president lays a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier there at Arlington National Cemetery. One of the more emotional moments on this Veterans Day as the president and vice president honor those who sacrificed their lives for this country. Nancy Cordes, I want to bring you in once again. You know, you saw President Biden there. We also saw Vice President Kamala Harris. This isn't the first time that we have seen her since she gave that concession speech last week after the election there. Can you tell us what her priorities may be for the next 70 days that she's in office?
Well, as vice president, she is primarily there to support the president and his agenda. So whether that is getting justices confirmed, whether it's figuring out ways to ensure that all the funds that have been improved by Congress to go towards Ukraine in the form of military humanitarian aid actually make it out the door, she will be there in lockstep with him. And you're right, it was striking to see her standing there next to him along with the Secretary of the VA, Dennis McDonough. And also, Liz, what really hit me while I was looking at them standing there is realizing that President Biden, who has been part of the public atmosphere here in Washington, D.C. for nearly half a century. This is probably one of the last times that we're going to see him in a setting like this in his public capacity, first as a senator, then as vice president, now as president of the United States. Surely we will see him here in Washington. He will always be part of the fabric here, but to see him there in his public capacity as president of the United States, laying that wreath, thinking about how many times he has done that in the past, and knowing that this might be one of the last before he hands over the reins to President-elect Trump on January 20th, 2025. That was a pretty striking moment.
It was indeed. Nancy Cordes reporting live from the White House. Thanks so much for sticking around and, of course, for that reporting.